Hi, this is Fred Cohen from Angel to Exit, and I wanted to show you investors, accredited investors only, and ecosystem participants, how to use our monthly directory and how to understand more about companies from our GWiz metrics. Every month after presentations or every time we do an event, we have a directory with the drill down of the presenting companies. It includes our sponsors for that particular event, the featured investors who helped us out by asking questions of companies in their area of relevance, and set of presenting companies. Here's an example from, in this case, it was March 16th of 2021. As you see, there are various companies. They're sorted by their the number, which is the sum of the portions. They have 92% governance and management scores and so forth, according to the GWiz metrics. That information is company entered. Also, we tell companies, and obviously you need to know this too, that if you're in the 90s here, 95, you're ready for exit. And if you're in the 30s, you're probably a very early stage company or a Main Street lifestyle sort of company. So if you're an angel investor, you're probably looking for companies in the 30 to 60 range. And if you're in venture and corporate venture capital and so forth on up, you're interested in companies with higher ratings. But feel free to look. If you look at any given company, it'll describe, besides the name of the company, the areas that they identified as areas they work in. So for example, this one's in IoT manufacturing and so forth. I'm just going to open an example here. In this case, we're just going to go to trustless. There you go. What you can see here is an overview of the company. The thing you see at the top, of course, is the presenter, the company, and the date and time that this was last updated. Companies that return have the same URL when they come back, so you can see the up-to-date information on that company, even though you're looking at the directory from a year ago. It has the business problem, their solution to the problem, their tagline, what area they work in, and so forth. It has their projective financials. It talks about a valuation basis, a raise amount. It also calculates ROI from the investment, what percentage you're buying for how much per percent, and so forth. It has their description of their business, the competitive advantage, and so forth. Down here, we have the contact information, including phone number, their website, which you can click through to. If they've provided a video, you can click through to the video and it'll play their video. If they have a deal room connected, it'll take you to the deal room. These are the scores in the various areas for those companies: governance and management, marketing, sales, execution, and fulfillment, so forth. We also have connection to Decider, which allows you as an investor to set your priority of what's important to you and what's how important, and then fuse that with the data from this and other companies, company after company after company. You should watch the separate video on that. Below are the specific answers to the specific questions. And you can see, that, for example, no board's in place for this one. On the other hand, they have an advisory board in place and so forth. So you can see all the specific answers to the specific questions that made up those metrics. And here's an example where they added a comment, that this is their exit path, when they think they're going to be able to exit, and at what valuation, and their description of it. So different companies put in their information, and this is how you access that information. I'm going to pause the recording here. And we're back. This is an example of the second quarter summary from 2021. As you can see, more companies are listed. Again, it's sorted in the same way. It has the same information for the quarter, and this happens at the end of every quarter. And in this case, I'm going to take you down into another drill down example. This is a company that's gone a little bit further through the ecosystem. They have progress as a function of time. They have the same, now of course updated as a function of time, GWiz metrics. In these cases, they have more comments. In addition, because they've participated in the ecosystem, you can see baseline information. This is a descriptive on the company. And when you click from GWiz, it takes you, directly to the information you asked about in their summary. The summary is fairly comprehensive. It covers a wide variety of things you would typically see in a due diligence, for example. You can take it down to marketing and sales, look at the details of the problem solution. We do a VALS assessment from any of the companies. They can choose to do that or not. We also have things like the sales sieves that they've generated. Here's an example of the sales sieves for this company. And it walks you through, how they go through the process of selling. And in fact, at a more detailed level, those of you that have gone into the simulation analysis have a simulation that they've done. In this case, they've described the details of the simulation below, so you can see what's there and why, and what the comments are, and how they generate money, and what expenses they have, and so forth. And you can even drill down and see, for example, where's the bottom of their cash flow needs in this simulation. It's about 1.03 million or something, and that is around 135 days, whatever. This particular simulation has a 250-day year. So you can see how the company works. You can see when and how all the expenses work. You can see the cost and revenue and per thing that they do. So for example, shipping refills by day 196, they will have spent $14,830. Obviously, these are projections. As the companies execute, they update the projections to reflect real numbers, and of course, then the parameters get tighter and tighter. So those are the sorts of information that you can get, readily by going through this process. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy using the tools that we've provided and the information the companies have provided.